Hello and welcome once again to Ignite Your Impact. My name is Jen Rhodes. I am seated next to my husband, Matt.
Good morning.
My partner in crime. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good.
Excellent. I think we're going to jump right in today. We've had a theme the last, I'd say 4 or 5 podcasts. I think they all fit nicely together, but I just want to jump right on in.
Yeah, and this one it's the perfect time of year because I think this drops July 1st maybe. So
you know what that means.
That was not where I was going.
Birth month. Oh,
your birthday is in July and it is birth month for you, but that is not where I was going.
What better month to hit goals than my birth month?
That's right. Or we are halfway through the year. Halfway through the year. Let that sink in. And we're going to talk about how to hit massive goals today because there's a good chance you're in one of two places. You're on your way because you're halfway through the year or you've stopped. And we're going to address why you stopped and how to get through those. So it's a perfect time to talk about how to hit massive goals. And on this last podcast that we did, we talked about a lot. And if you didn't listen to that one, go back and listen to it after this. We talked a lot of areas, but one of them was distractions are what holding you back, and you have to eliminate the distractions.
Yeah. This is certainly not a continuation of that. I think we've done a few podcasts on distractions and obviously how to overcome and eliminate them, but we're taking a small piece of it and we're going to show you today how to hit massive goals, the really big ones. And when I say massive, I want you to think of 1 to 2 things right now that you can't even fathom in 5 years' time. Big goals, 10 years' time. There's no way I could hit that this year. But something that you really want to have happen. And I want it to be such a big goal that your mind quickly, almost immediately goes to, there is no way I could achieve that.
Yeah. And that's what we're going to help you tackle today. So keep those big, scary goals in mind as we walk through this. And where this came from, this past week, I looked at my workout app. And for anyone that is not a client, let me explain what I mean by that. So our app that we use with clients is built to provide basically everything that they would need. Now, obviously, as a new client, this is not a do it yourself DIY. This is not DIY. This is, we don't just hand you this app. You're going to do calls with us, with onboarding people. You're going to have a ton of videos that you can watch that really dumbs down how to eat and live your life. So there's a lot involved in that. So it's not just an app, but our app is built for programming. And in here, it's where we build your custom workouts and your programming. So say it's a Monday and you just click on the Monday, your app opens up, and that's where everything that we've assigned to you, whatever we've assigned that day. If it's, our normal is 10,000 steps, but if we have you doing something different, we would assign steps in there. But this is where your workout program is as well. So your actual lifting. So the part I'm actually talking about and referencing that I saw in our app was my workouts. So, again, you open up on Monday, you click on the workout. It gives you a video of exactly how to do the workout. There's instructions on how to do it to make sure that you're lifting, the correct way to effectively hit that muscle. The amount of reps you need to do, how long you rest. It even has a timer that for rest periods. You click it, it counts down if it's a 90-second rest.
It's a history of your previous lifts of that, like what you did on that previous time.
Yeah, so you can see what you did last time doing bench press if you're going up or down. But so in this app, like I said, it tracks everything. And I happened to look down at it a while back, not too long ago, and I saw 880 workouts. I'd done 880 workouts when I started using this about 4 years ago. And I slowly watched it tick away until Friday night. I hit 900 workouts in that app.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's huge. That's a huge milestone, though.
It is. I'd lie if I didn't say I was proud, but I'm not big on the amount of workouts because, I mean, you can work out 1,000 times, 500 times. You can hold up a sign saying I've worked out 200 times and still not look like you actually go to the gym.
That, true.
And I see that.
Preach.
So obviously great if you're doing all these workouts, but let's also make sure we're making some progress too. If you're at 200 workouts, you should look like you work out in a gym. But it did hit me when I saw the 900 workouts. And I vividly remember some very painful times looking at that 900. I remember 4 years ago waking up every morning, groggy-eyed, tired. I'd walk into the bathroom, I'd look into the mirror, and I was disgusted with my belly. You know, my face was fat too, but really I looked at my belly. And then I would I'd jump in the shower and get out of the shower, and I'd look in the mirror again. Like some 5 to 8 minute hot shower is going to change something. And I'd look again. And then I pull out a big polo and I put that on and look in the mirror, and hopefully that hid my belly. And I did this for years. I tried different programs for years. This all was coming through my mind when I hit 900. All those times for years that I was disgusted with myself. And then most of our listeners know, if you've been listening to us for a while, you know where this started. I hired a coach because I was tired of it. And I needed help with the nutrition side and even the workout side. Obviously, Jen had all that. She had the nutrition. She had the workouts. She's an expert in it. She didn't have the mindset at that time, but I was missing the mindset, the nutrition, and the workouts. And I needed someone else to show me how to do that. So I get on this Zoom call, and John and I are talking about my ultimate goals. And you've probably heard this before, but by the end of this, he's got me talking about I want a 6-pack so my wife chases me around the bedroom. And after we get my programming set up, so what I'm going to be doing, and my goals, I'm pumped up and I'm ready to go. This is it. All these fucking programs I've tried, and I finally found the one that's going to work. And I'm going to be shredded like a god, just like he told me. And then I went and I looked in the mirror and I said, fuck, did he just sell me a bunch of garbage? I mean, look at me. I am fat and out of shape. Shredded like a god? Really?
No, I want to
And that popped in right there.
I want to interrupt, and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Because I remember those days.
Yeah.
Massive goal. He had a massive goal. And Matt said it, and is comfortable enough in his own skin and in a healthy enough place now to talk about it. And he's comfortable enough to say it out loud so everyone listening hopefully can relate. He was not in shape. He was spinning his wheels for years. And he had put on about 40 pounds. And now he has this picture of a Greek god in his mind. That is a massive freaking goal. Now, I would never say that at the time. But that was a big goal. Now it's fun because you got called Thor multiple times out in public. I'm like, yeah. But I want you to think, if you're listening at home, if you're at the gym, if you're driving your car, what goals do you have?
Wait a second. I got to interrupt you. Totally off.
Norse god now,
Bullet
not a Greek
points.
god. Yes.
I swear to God, this is not in our notes. Literally, it was a 6-pack and looked like a Greek god. And I just realized I have been called Thor a couple of times. I never put that together until you just said it and it started clicking. Wow. All right, you can keep going. So
that's okay.
Go back to where you were.
Sit in this.
Yeah.
Sit in it. It's okay. Feel it. Feels good, right? Think about our listeners that are in that place you were and how good it would feel if they get that.
Yeah.
Right? So now let's think about some goals you have. Is it to make an extra 100K this year? 300K? $1 million? Is it to pay off your debt? Notice I didn't say some. Is it to fix a relationship? Is it to look like a Greek god or goddess or superhero? There's massive goals in there, people. And what happens when you think of them? And right now you're thinking of them. You're thinking of your specific goal. And right now you're saying the same thing that Matt did. Look at me right now. There is no way I can get that. That's for people with better genetics, or those are for people that have always been skinny, or, they've got so much time on their hand that they can do these extra investments, or they have connections through their parents. Like, whatever it is, you're throwing up all the roadblocks. It's okay. It's human nature. But how did Matt hit this massive goal? How can you hit your massive goal? Let me start with where you need to begin. You need to choose the goal. You need to choose the big, hairy, audacious, ridiculous goal that you want, but you don't think you can get. Now, you've always heard to hit massive goals, you've got to get out of your comfort zone. I'm going to make this easy for you. I just want you to get out of that comfort zone when you're setting the goal. I don't want you uncomfortable 24/7. Now, this is the key. It's the key, so listen to what I'm about to say. To do all of this, you need to have real attainable goals that you can focus on 100% of the time.
And you may be asking yourself, okay, what does that even mean? It's very similar to what we talked about with the distractions. Mm-hmm. See, this is so key to not only what we're doing, what we're going to go through right now is so key to not only help you remove distractions, but it helps you hit a massive, massive goal without that little shitty voice in your head getting in the way. This is how you do it. Yeah. This is the secret.
Yeah. You know why? Because what I mean by having real goals you can focus on 100% of the time means, yes, we use the massive goal to draw inspiration from. Keep that in your foresight, but we focus on the small goals, right? There's going to be little carrots along the way that we can hit every single time. I said it like in Pac-Man. There was little pellets along the way before he got to the goal. Or Super Mario Brothers, right?
Pac-Man's right.
Pac-Man?
Yeah, you got it.
I don't know if there was a goal, though. It was just like, don't get eaten. I digress. We need little carrots along the way that we just like get every single day so that you can keep moving towards that goal. The ones that don't bring out that shitty voice. Here's what I mean. We set up small goals you can focus on. And for Matt and for any client of ours, we're not going to tackle perfecting macros.
Somebody listening may not even know what that means.
Proteins, carbs,
I'm
fat,
just saying that's why we're not going to tackle
calories.
it.
Yes,
yeah.
We're not going to perfect all of the macros, all 4 workouts, 10K step, and mindset stuff on day 1. Your brain would explode. It's too much. You will feel unsuccessful. So at first, we're just going to handle the easy stuff. We're going to focus on protein the first week. We're going to focus on our 3 workouts and work on our morning routine. Just focus on what you can actually hit. Once you have that down, then we're going to add in steps. Damn, okay, not so hard. So now we have most of the pieces and we're cruising along. Let's start tracking carbs and fats. Well, now it's easy because your blood sugar's managed because of the protein. And it all starts to feel a little bit more routine and it's not so foreign. And damn, we are rocking this bitch. Oh, by the way, it's been 4 weeks and you're down 10 pounds. Now wait, what about that massive goal to lose 40 pounds? Well, you're a quarter of the way there because you stopped focusing on the massive 40 pounds and just focused on the real attainable goals you can see today. And that's all we do is stack those small wins every single day to where they almost become automated. Guys, gals, this isn't just for looking like a Greek god. This is life.
Yeah. Another example, think about this podcast, the one you're listening to right now. To reiterate what Jen just said in a different light, we're around 117 episodes right now.
Wow.
Well, before we started number 1, we met a guy named Bryce, and we met him at one of our mindset trainings, and he's a podcast guru.
Shout out to Bryce.
Yeah, he's a producer, has a whole team, and he's got a fantastic business. But so we tell him that, hey, we want to do a podcast. We want to do that. And we understand you're a guy that can help us with that. So we grabbed lunch with him and we hit it off, and we love him immediately. So we hire him, and I'm thinking, and I'm verbally telling him on our first call, because we set up a call once we got back home. I said, we want to do this podcast and we want to reach thousands and thousands of people that we can make an impact. And my God, Bryce, we need all this equipment, and then we need the audio to sync up with the video, and then we need somehow this podcast to hit all these places like Spotify and Apple. Oh, and we're going to need captions put in here, and we're going to need cover art and more stuff beyond that. And that's even before we even start creating content every single week. Oh, we need a name too for the show, and we need a theme to enter it. Oh, don't forget, this has got to get to YouTube, plus a host of other things. I mean, there's a lot that goes into a podcast, just like losing 40 pounds. It's a massive goal to do a podcast. Right there. We want this unbelievable podcast, but I can't even imagine how we're going to figure out each week what to say, let alone all those other things. How did we go from 0 to 117? Bryce, like any good mentor, coach, or program, just the way Jen lined it out, where she said, week 1, we're only going to focus on your proteins. We're not going to tell you all the stuff you've got to do, because we're going to do it slowly. And Bryce did the exact same thing. He says, hey, Matt, slow down. You are correct. You need all those things plus a lot more you don't even know about.
Oh my God, right?
However, this week, we are only going to focus on your audience. That's it. Then he gave us an assignment. Go write out every feature of your avatar, the person you want to talk to, what they like, what they don't like, what they listen to, where they shop, what kind of car they drive, all those things.
What do they read?
And he said, that's the only thing I want you focusing on this week, Matt and Jen. Just that. All that stuff I just listed off, and he just wants us to focus on our avatar. And he says, let's meet next week. We're going to go over that, and then we're going to tackle 2 more items. It's the exact same example Jen just did with hitting a massive goal of weight loss. You get the point. Yes, you have this massive, massive, hairy goal in mind, but don't let that be your daily focus. Let that be your North Star. Because if you don't, one of 2 things are going to happen. Listen closely here. If you try to tackle it all at once, every day, the first thing that will happen is you will never start. Does that sound familiar to anyone? Have you ever had a massive goal that you didn't start? Or the second thing is you will start, but you'll get so overwhelmed you'll quit. Does that sound familiar? Have you ever tried to lose weight and threw in all the eating healthy and the steps and the running and the weights and the everything all in at once? Or any goal at all, not just losing weight. When you try and do it all, one of those 2 things will happen. When you figure this out and you start putting this to practice, you'll go from living a life of average to living a fucking dream life, because you can't do anything but hit massive goals.
I love it. Let's wrap it right there.
All right.
Sound good?
Yes.
Guys, I hope you found value in today's episode. I hope you share it with someone that you think would gain some value from it. If anything, drop us a 5-star review. That's the only way we can grow this thing. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And as always,